Hello there, everybody. It's Joshua Carey here. Thanks for tuning in to this web video on the topic of Google Analytics. Now, if you've heard me speak or read any of my blogs, you know that one of the things I always suggest when you're building your website is to add Google Analytics to your site so you can keep track and monitor how your visitors and how your users are really interacting with your site. And it's so important because, simply put, if you don't know how your site is functioning, how it's operating, and how people are finding your site, how they're using your site, what they're doing on your site, you'll never know what changes or adjustments to make. So, really quick, if you're not sure, Google Analytics is, of course, Google's free website analytics tool. It tells you an abundance of information about your website and how your visitors are using it. If you don't have it installed, go over to google.com/analytics and either sign up for an account, or if you have a Google or Gmail account, log in, create your account, and place the code on your site, and you'll start seeing these results. So I wanted to take you inside, a sneak peek into my pet sitting business website, Alicia's Animals. I want to show you a couple of key things to look for on your Google Analytics. And I'm also going to be putting together, there's been a lot of requests for this lately, which is exciting and surprising. I'm going to put together a Google Analytics webinar coming up in the near future, so look out for that. But here we are in my Google Analytics Alicia's Animals dashboard. And again, I'm only going to show you a small fraction of some of the great things you can discover about your site. So on your dashboard here, you see that it's defaulted to the past 30 days. So what we're seeing here is July 29th to August 28th, 2012. And here we are on the dashboard. So the quick overview is, in the past 30 days, 744 unique people have visited my site, totaling 842 visits. That means about 100 people came back more than once, because it says unique visitor 744, and you could see the rest of the stats. Page views over 2,600, pages per visit 3.1, so each person is viewing a little more than 3 pages. Average visit duration is 2 minutes 39 seconds. That's good. You want to see that kind of a number. If you see 30 seconds, 50 seconds, a minute, you want to find ways to increase the visitor engagement on your site. Bounce rate is 36.22%, which is great. You want your bounce rate low. And what bounce rate means is it's the percentage of visitors who have come to your site, landed on one page, and then left. So it's the amount of people who have seen your website and only visited the one page they landed on and never looked further. They then pushed the back button or went to another website. So 36% is not bad. It's actually really good. If you start seeing 50, 60, 70%, that's where you want to start wondering, okay, why aren't people engaging further with my website? But here are some of the interesting stats I want to show you. And again, this is such a fraction of what analytics is capable of. I'm going to click on audience over here, and it's going to drop down a few key pieces of info. I'm going to start at the top here where it says demographics. I'm going to go to location. My pet sitting business is in New York City. So naturally, I want to make sure that people visiting my site and finding my site are in that general area. So let's see what we find. First, you see this great map. If you click on the United States, it'll pull up a map here. And here's New York. So I can see that out of 751 visits, 500 of them are from New York. Interesting, huh? Here's 55 from California, 20 from Texas, 20 from Florida, and single digits from a handful here. If you want to see it in a list, scroll down and you'll see the majority, 500, are from New York, exactly where I want them to be. And then Some more are sporadic throughout the country. That's fine. But what's interesting to note here is of the New York visits, it breaks it down and says those people are visiting 3.19 pages per visit. Those people are staying on the site 2.5 minutes. Interestingly enough, people from California are staying on almost 4 minutes. But this is also a good one. The bounce rate. Remember that what that is. You want your bounce rate as low as possible. That's the percentage of people that visit your site, land on one page, and never go further into the site. Only view that one page and leave. So the bounce rate for people in New York is 29%. That's really good. So this will give you insight into your visitors' locations. Let's go move on to behavior. New versus returning. Out of the 842 visitors, 84% of them, 710, are new. That's good. 15% or 132 are returning for whatever reason. Not bad. Frequency and recency. This column here, count of visits, this simply means that 710 people visited the site once. 72 people visited it twice. 19 people visited my site 3 times within this month range, and on and on. One person visited it 15 to 25 times. That was probably me. So, moving down to engagement here. This is fascinating. Of the 842 visitors, 347 of them, 41% of the total, visited my site for less than 10 seconds. That's what I always say. You have less than 10 seconds to make an impact, or people are just going to leave. In my case, 347 of those people decided to leave. Here, 69 people, or 8%, stayed for almost 30 seconds. Scrolling down here, this is good. 150 people stayed for 1 to 3 minutes, and 126 people stayed for 3 to 10 minutes. 60 people stayed much longer. They probably got a phone call and walked away from the computer. I don't know. But regardless, these are very good. These are good stats right here. The 1 to 3 minutes and the 3 minutes to 10 minutes, there's a good 15% almost and almost 18%. So that means my site is effective. People are engaged. People are reading it. Okay, I'm moving very quickly here because there's a lot to cover in this short video. Technology, if you care, you can see what browser they're using. So Safari and Chrome account for about 50%. Internet Explorer and Firefox, another 40%. Mobile, how about this? By the way, mobile shortly down the road, if not already, is going to take over. So make sure your websites are prepared for mobile viewing. So here we go. Out of the 842 visitors, 688 did not have a mobile device. And 154, which is almost 20%, viewed my website on a mobile device. 20%. And it shows you, of the people who did not versus the people who did have mobile, of the people who did not have mobile, viewed almost one more page, and they stayed about 30 seconds longer. Interesting. So I might want to make sure my site is optimized for mobile so I could increase the visitor duration here. And interestingly enough, the bounce rate was quite identical. Here, on devices, my goodness, Google Analytics is sharp. They're showing me exactly what device people visited my website from. Here, 75 visitors were on the Apple iPad, 49 on the iPhone, and on and on. And even so, you can see, oh, people from the iPad stayed 2 minutes and 11 seconds, while people on the iPhone stayed 2 minutes and 53 seconds. Absolutely fascinating. Finally, I'm going to leave you with what's called visitor flow. This shows an overview of how people are navigating through your site. So of the total, 751 from the US, and you see here a handful more from other countries, but 751 from the US entered my site via the home page. From the home page, 218 of those visitors went to the pricing page. That's the most popular second page. And of those, 56 or 25% dropped off. That means they did not go further. After the home page, only 159 went to our services page next. So you can see exactly how the majority of your visitors are navigating through your site. And you can see what pages they are viewing. Okay, before this video gets any longer, because there is a ton to cover here, I have to cut it short, and we only touched the surface. I hope this was eye-opening. I hope this was fascinating. I hope this inspires you to either go back, look at your analytics, and get a feel for how your visitors are interacting and see how you can improve on things. And also, like I said, there is a ton to cover in this topic. I'm putting together a pet sitter webinar on the very topic, so keep an eye out for that. Please do keep me posted on your own experience with analytics on your website. Let me know what you found, what you learned, what was fascinating, what was interesting, and also, more importantly, what changes you might make, what adjustments you might add to your website. With that, I want to thank you for watching. Keep successfully moving forward, and let's keep the conversation going. I'll talk to you soon.